Valentine's Day. It's Valentine's week. And my Galentine is back. I am Cammie, the hooked Hearty, and my bestie's back.
Hey everybody, I'm Sarah, the hawk-eyed Hardy, and I'm so thankful that Lydia could join you last week and you could have a little fun mother-daughter Hardy gab session.
You made a wish of hers come true. So,
She's the sweetest. I mean, obviously not including my own children, have to preface that so that they don't get mad at me.
of course.
But yes, she's adorable, she's wonderful. She did a fabulous job, and it was a really crazy, hectic week for me last week, and then I lost my voice. So it was like, okay, I need some help. So I'm so glad she could step in and be my official replacement
For one episode.
for one episode. But
Hmm.
I know she's already ready for more.
Oh, she is. All right. We are here to talk about season 13, episode 6, Moment of Truth. Literally, for a lot
Yeah.
of people.
How are we halfway through the season already?
I don't know. I was talking about the moments of truth.
Oh, well, yeah, there's that. I still, woof. This has gone fast already.
It is. It's one of those situations where it's gone fast but slow. You
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Starting you off with the question of the day, and I just want to tell all of our listeners, usually Sarah and I will talk to each other about the episode before we record a couple of days in advance and just say, hey, how did you like it? What did you think? We haven't done that this time. So all of these reactions and questions, they're fresh.
Yeah. Let us know
Okay,
if you like this better or worse.
that's a good question.
Add that
which,
to the comments.
which do you like better? Okay. Was he right or was he wrong? Was Nathan right to say, feel my heartbeat, look into my eyes, this is all the evidence you need? Can we just leave it there for now?
I
Was he right to say that or was he wrong?
don't. Okay, so we're just diving right into the big meat of
Oh,
the
yes.
issue.
It's Valentine's Day. Of course, we're diving in.
Okay. So I can't even really answer that. So the question really is, why did he say that? The question is, the way the words were written really came off like he was nervous and he was not really ready, but I don't really get that vibe from him. I really get more of a vibe that like he's got a plan and he doesn't want that to get messed up. But I don't know. I don't think it was wrong, but it was not the way I expected him to word it. I didn't once we got through the episode, I wasn't expecting a proposal in that moment anymore. But I didn't expect him to phrase it that way. The phrasing was a little odd to me.
Yeah, I mean, the feel my heartbeat, look into
Oh,
my eyes.
that was gorgeous.
Yeah. And I almost expected him to drop to his knee right there. But here's your next question. He said in his very nervous rambling that they haven't talked about marriage. They haven't?
Yeah,
What?
I mean, I don't think they've come out and said the words, but they've done every single thing other than say the words. Like,
Including living in the same house and talking about their kids.
and how their kid is going to tower over the both of them someday. There were so many overt seasons, there have been so many comments that were so comfortable in the fact that that's the end game that they're both
Yeah.
looking for. So I didn't get the feeling that he was saying, I'm not sure if both of us want this. It was more of a, we haven't really discussed the timeline and how soon either one of us are ready for that.
I will say I kind of took a bit of a deep breath of relief when he said that has nothing to do with what I want with you or what I dream about with you. I said, "Ooh, good answer."
Yeah, yeah. It covered all the bases there.
Yeah, he kind of did. He covered all the bases except for dropping to the base ground.
Yeah. What's your thought?
Okay, well, it's me. So
Okay, fair enough.
that that seems to be enough of an explanation that you would know what my thought is.
Okay, but you phrased it as, was this right or wrong of him? So, like,
Yeah.
explain that to me. How are your feelings in that regard?
Me being who I am and that I have wanted this for a very long time and honey, cover your ears, that Kevin McGarry is so handsome and the character of Nathan is so romantic and
Mhm.
has been in love with her for so long. I would think that people would have to lift him off the ground.
Yeah. I mean, but also, do you get a vibe that he like has a thought of the timeline, a thought of how he wants their story to go?
Now that, and see, this is where it's difficult because where is the difference between storyline writing
Hmm.
and character desire?
Yeah.
What's being dragged out for storyline purposes and drama purposes, and what does the character actually want? That's kind of a tossing and turning question. I will say this though, what he said really seemed to satisfy Elizabeth.
I
So,
mean, I mean, I think she would say yes no matter what if he asked at this point forward.
yeah.
But part of her may have kind of been like, oh, this is a lot of pressure. I don't want it to happen because of pressure, you know?
Very
And
true.
so, and maybe that's why he didn't want to do it now, is because, like, oh, well, it's been brought up by Jack, and we were like, it was just so awkward. And like, I don't want her to think I'm saying it just because that happened. There could have been that kind of apprehension that, like, it has to feel right, it has to be the right moment.
I could use my own example. Will told me that he put payment down on a ring, and at one point he went and picked it up and it was burning a hole in his pocket for 2 days before he asked me. Because he asked me at Christmas time, so it was in his coat pocket. He wanted the moment to be right. He
Yeah.
didn't want to just ask me whenever and wherever. He had a plan. And so that does make me feel better thinking that Nathan does have a plan. It's also very difficult because I have heard rumors. I have heard rumors that we are getting a proposal this
Right.
season, which makes it difficult to say
Why
what.
wouldn't you? Yeah. What's holding
Yeah,
you?
and so, and it also makes it difficult for me to say that was the wrong decision or that was the right decision,
Until
because
we see how it plays out.
right. And so I don't know how it is going to play out. It was like what happened with season 11. I knew that that was the season they were going to get together, but
Yeah.
when the heck was it going to happen? And the things that were leading up to it just kind of seemed like cheap thrills to me, and I was getting annoyed.
Yeah.
I just kept on saying, we know they're going to get together, so can you please quit with the little dallying
Yeah.
around and the cheap thrills
Yeah,
and
but
get to the heart of the situation?
that
And
is just writing television shows, though.
I know,
Yeah,
but that's because I knew it was going to happen. I mean, this thing has been dancing around for how many years now?
a lot. So, what I will say though is they have been pretty good about not leaving gigantic cliffhangers.
Yes.
So, you know, even when Jack passed away, it was the episode before the finale, and then they resolved what could be resolved and ended on some hope in the
Yeah.
finale. And then with season 11, they got together in the episode before the finale, and we got to see them together in the finale. So my hope is that at least the proposal is going to happen in the episode before the finale at the latest, so that we have just some nice, comfortable, even if they don't get married in the last episode, but I'm still hoping for that elopement that I keep predicting.
Yeah.
But if that doesn't happen,
One
at least
of
to be
these
able to
days.
see one, if I guess it all the time, eventually someone's going to elope. Someday.
Watch it be Lucas and Edie.
I could accept that. I could
Okay.
accept that.
Okay.
And at least then we'd have a little bit of engagement to watch in an episode, even if they didn't get married. And especially knowing another season's already secured.
Yes, that is very true. Um, this conversation is kind of bringing up Bill's comment. We should have brought popcorn. Okay, I have a new phrase for you.
Okay.
Saved by the door.
Yeah.
Because in Nathan's moment of truth, he got saved by the door.
Yeah. Um, I the funny part of this, the humorous part of this episode,
Yes.
so well done. I love how Bill's character has really become so funny in
Yeah.
that really dry sense of humor kind of way.
Uh-huh.
And just it's so great seeing how close he is with Nathan, that he feels comfortable kind of teasing him in that way. Um, Especially at the dinner, like, first they didn't want to impose and like interrupt the family dinner, but then they're there and they just can't help it but just like tear Nathan's story to shreds.
Okay, speaking of which, if he is not ready to get married, then why is he inviting people over to her house for dinner?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I don't think it's that he's not ready to get married
Yeah.
or that he hasn't decided he wants to marry her. It's definitely more of, I think it's that we haven't discussed when. And also, I'm sure because of what they have discussed, and he knows that she wants that too, that he probably, again, doesn't want to jump the gun and freak her out and go too fast.
Do you think that she would consider it too fast? Because
No, but I could
okay.
see him just being nervous about like making sure that she's comfortable before he does it somehow.
Yeah. And I've already said it, but it's me, so I'm going to say it again.
Go for it.
I am very glad that he did reassure her that maybe he's not ready at that moment to drop to a knee and pop the question, but he has flat out admitted that he thinks about it,
Yeah.
that he wants it, that he dreams about it. And
Yeah.
when he said, "What I dream of with you," I almost lost it, you know. And then so first he says, "What I dream about with you," and then he grabs her hand and says, "Feel my heartbeat," look into my eyes like, fan, oxygen tank, mop now, please.
Yeah,
I
no,
need all three.
it was a well-written little speech there. Yeah.
Yeah, that and we talked about Nathan not getting a chance to do very many speeches. That was a good speech for Nathan. That was a really good
That was pretty
speech.
good. Yeah, definitely. And I will say too, like, it just kind of brings up Jack was big with the like big romantic gestures, which is crazy to say because then Lucas got a hot air balloon. So
Lucas had more money than Jack did.
exactly. But like both of them real big showy guys, really.
Yeah.
And technically Nathan is too, but he's not doing it in moments of romance. He's doing it in like moments of true partnership and true like support. Like that's when he goes big, like getting the pilot to fly the inspector in was for all of them, was for their family. Yes, it was for
Yeah.
little Jack primarily, obviously, but like Jack would have been fine going back, he still would have gotten the medicine. He would have
Yeah.
gone, back to the other clinic and gotten his medicine. He would have survived. It wasn't like he was saving his life. He was protecting their family to stay together.
Yeah.
And so, like, those are the grand gestures he's making, which just seems so different and almost more romantic because it's truly for her as a person, not just to woo her.
We've said this before, and I think it's very fitting for this episode. Doesn't exactly make me happy because this was the episode before Valentine's Day. So we I think we need more of that romance, but this
Fair.
season I always want more romance. What am I saying? Hashtag Chasely hot.
But he did that amazing speech. And even that in itself is like a grand gesture, but
Right.
on a different scale.
Right. And that's what I'm saying is we've said this before that the romance, the actual PDA and shows of affection and the chemistry and things like that, the romance has taken a back burner, but the relationship has only gotten stronger.
Yeah.
Now, I could have been very happy with a kiss or two, especially after a speech like that. Never mind. Did I
I got you.
It's the episode before Valentine's Day and there's no kiss. Come on. The only way that I will accept that truly is if there is a kiss in the episode the day after Valentine's Day. So,
We can look for that, definitely.
we will be looking for
We'll be
that.
on the lookout. Yeah.
We have X-ray vision, shall we say? Let's talk about X-ray McGill. Oh, Melissa Gilbert.
Very fun episode with her character.
I love the ease that these two worlds have joined together. We have Hope Valley, and Walnut Creek.
And I hadn't even really put it together. Like I knew about the Mountie is that brings the
Elmore Briggs.
Elmore
Yeah.
Briggs. I knew that he was played by Michael Landon Jr.'s son, which is
Yeah.
amazing. But it
Yes.
didn't even occur to me that he was in the scene with Melissa Gilbert. And then I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Yep. We've got a perfect blending with Michael's son and with her character blending so easily with Bill.
Yeah.
And just watching the two of them when they are dealing with a romance brewing just under the surface themselves, and they're quote unquote passing judgment on
Yeah.
on a romance.
I think they wouldn't have done that if they didn't know that Nathan and Elizabeth are in a solid place. Like it
Yeah.
didn't seem like something that, it seemed like a very fun jab that
Oh
was
yes,
that was
completely.
mostly just to show off how smart they are and being able to tell if someone's lying.
Who needs a polygraph?
Right?
And okay, I did not see this coming at all, especially because she was invited so last minute. But a box of brand new crayons for Jack, sorry, LJ, and a beautiful pen. That was not just a school pen. That was a
Yeah.
beautiful pen that she bought for Allie. I thought, oh, getting in good with the
Family.
pseudo grandchildren, kind of.
Yeah, she knows that they're important to Jack or to Bill because Jack was. It's hard because his name is Jack and then the character's Jack. It's always hard for me.
No, why I'm laughing is because I've almost said Jack about 3 times already. So
I wouldn't confuse his real name with it if there wasn't also Jacks in the show. And it's just like,
yeah.
it's too much. Too many Jacks.
2 Jacks in the
I'm
show, 1 Jack on the show.
right.
So
And honestly, I'm glad they're just calling him LJ now because now we can just have a little bit of separation in the names.
okay, I didn't get a chance to talk to you about this because I was recording with Lydia.
Yeah.
That's not new.
No, but it's new that he wants everyone to call him that.
Yes, but I mean, even Rosemary has called him LJ before last week's episode. And then Elizabeth says, it's LJ now. And she goes, since when? I went, wait a minute, you've called him LJ. I think the first person I heard call him LJ was Cooper.
Hmm.
And then I heard Rosemary say it, I think in the same episode. I can't remember which one
Mhm.
it was. But yeah, calling him LJ is not.
Well, but I could argue that Nathan started it before that, and other people just gradually picked up on it, and it's kind of just been a slow burn. And then now Little Jack is like saying, yes, I like that. I like what I've heard people call me now and then, you know?
Fair enough. Fair
So
enough.
I think we could say that that works because we don't know when Nathan says he started it. So we'll just pretend he started it a while ago.
Okay. We'll
It's
pretend.
fine. But also I'm personally wondering how much of little Jack's LJ's decision was because he doesn't feel little or because he likes being called that from Nathan.
And I said something kind of like this in last week's episode, but I haven't gotten to say it with you, and I really want to hear your reaction to this because it felt brilliant. He got his name from his father, and he got his nickname from his soon to be stepfather, the person who has become the father figure in his life already. We're just
Yeah.
waiting to make it official.
Mm,
And
that's really that's really beautiful when you think about it that way.
it felt when Elizabeth said, "I'm glad he got it from you," it seemed like a pass off comment, but it's actually quite profound because the two men in his life, he has something from each of them
Yeah.
concerning his name.
And also, I just think it's really great that they're also showing multiple ways that LJ is comfortable with this now. They do now show affection in front of the kids. They aren't, it's not a secret anymore. It's not like,
They
oh, we're
didn't
friends,
this episode. Oh,
we
sorry.
have adult relationship. We have, adult conversations. Like, it's obvious enough that LJ is asking if he's going to marry his mom. So he knows that it's a romantic relationship. He's asking Allie, he's talking to Allie about, I wish you were my sister. I mean, those kinds of comments from a little kid show his comfort, which can only give more ease to Nathan about moving forward. I'm sure that's a big factor for anybody when they're making that decision when there's children involved. Like,
And
how is,
also his smarts. Nathan obviously he was put on the spot for it, so he obviously knows that LJ is catching on. So he better either hide it better or hurry up.
right?
Okay, but can I just say, Nathan getting interrogated totally served him right.
Yeah.
Because when he was leaning down to interrogate Oliver, I swear to you, the entire time I was going, be nice, don't you do it, be nice, be nice.
It was such a great moment because it showed that kind of battle within him of like I want to ask more questions so badly because I'm a protective father, but I also know that I can't. Both professionally for my job because that would be inappropriate, and because Allie would be very angry if she found out.
um, Oliver's favorite food is liverwurst.
Yeah, that one kind of
What?
that is a fact that can go in the black hole and they can retcon that later. I am fine with that. Um, yeah, that did not need to happen.
Especially when Bill made waffles.
Yeah. Like if he's so impressed with these waffles, like let the liverwurst go.
Ollie, Lydia loved that Allie called him Ollie. She said, oh,
Yeah.
but yeah, she loved the fact that Allie called him Ollie. But then, yeah, the I wonder what Allie would think of Ollie's favorite food.
I'm sure she'll find out sooner or later.
As long as he doesn't try to force feed it to her.
Oh, okay.
Ugh. I'm going a little bit out of order here, but I had to say something because I noticed it the second time through when I was watching it.
Mm-hmm.
The very beginning, when Elizabeth and Nathan are on the ride. Um, because it was on Saturday night, I went on with Suspenders Unbuttoned and chatted
Yeah.
with them for a little bit.
Yeah.
And they said something that I didn't really notice the first time around, that Elizabeth was gripping the mane. And I thought, huh, pregnant woman who has had mishaps with horses in the past. She's riding side saddle. Yeah, I'd be hanging on to that mane for dear life too, while trying to appear natural.
That's pretty funny because we know that she said that she didn't tell everybody till partway through the filming of the season. I wonder if that's when she told him. It's like,
Yeah,
so
we don't know
I
when it
know I'm
was.
doing this horse scene today. I just need to like preface this with I'm a little nervous about this.
Kevin, don't you dare let me
Don't
slip.
drop me. Don't drop me. We're all like riding the horse, and everybody's like, why is Ben over there like looking really nervous?
Uh-oh, Ben's tapping his toe. Oh gosh,
He's
he's
like never been
pacing.
nervous about these romance scenes before. What's going on? Like it's not the romance, it's the horse.
Why is he jealous now? And then, of course, when she says, I'm just trying to steal some time, well, that's the kind of stealing this Mountie can get behind. Adorable.
Yeah.
Totally adorable.
Yeah.
All right. We talked about Cooper. Let's go there.
Okay.
First of all, I want to I want to highlight what Henry said about Cooper, because that, I think, was probably one of the best things that Henry could do,
Mm-hmm.
besides convincing Christopher to tell the truth. But I wrote it down.
Of course.
Cooper's a good kid. When I was his age, all I was looking for was an easy way out. Long time after that, too. It reminded me so much of when Henry was in prison.
Mm. Yeah.
And we found out about his past when he was talking to Abigail. And he talked about how he never had anything. He was a sharecropper's son. He slept on a dirt floor, and that made him angry. And so that's why he was greedy, trying to justify it. And Abigail was the one who said, cut it out. Stop making excuses for yourself and just get better. And he did. And now he's a beloved character of the show. But I couldn't help but think back to those scenes when he was trying to justify his choices. And now look at him. He's completely owning up to the kind of person that he was in the past, and even now when he makes mistakes, he owns up to them so quickly.
Yeah.
And when when the boys and their parents are all sitting together, number one, I just loved the baseball talk. It was adorable. Did you see how edgy the boys got the second Bill and Nathan
Oh
walked
yeah.
into the room? They
Sure.
just immediately stood up and looked like they were about to get cuffed or
I mean,
something.
they've been waiting for the other shoe to drop. They're like, this is coming.
Yeah. And Joseph, even with what he's going through, having the strength to tell Henry, if your brother sins, rebuke him. If he repents, forgive him. He talked about his own struggle with feelings
Mhm.
that his son might be responsible, even if it was an accident. And then, so it's over. Both parents have now had a so moment. One of them was very humorous, one of them was quite dramatic. Um, I can't ever think about this line without laughing. When Mike and May got married and they can't find Mike, and Coulter guarantee. So, no. And now it was almost the same inflection, even, but a very different mood when Joseph said, so it's over. And I remember seeing a post from Billy, who plays Toby,
Oh yeah.
on social media. He's doing a little dance, and he says, "When your character is found not guilty and gets a last name, all in the same episode."
What was his last name? I missed it.
Kovalenko.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah,
probably thought somebody was just sneezing or something. Wow. I did not hear that at all.
bless you.
Yeah.
No, but we got a lot of names. We got a
Hmm.
lot of names in this episode. We found out that Oliver's middle name is Marion. We
We
found
did?
out, yeah, we
Yep.
found out that Nathan's middle name is Archibald, his father's name, which adds a whole nother layer to the father-son relationship.
Yep.
And we found out that Toby's last name is Kovalenko. So,
Yep. He's moving up in the Hearties lore now that he has a last name. It was kind of like when Hickam got a first name.
yes.
All of a sudden, it was like, oh, this is an actual character.
Speaking of Mike, his Spanish is horrible.
Yes, but I did love that he tried.
You should have seen me. I was sitting there correcting every single time he spoke Spanish. It was like, it's inmediatamente, Mike. Speaking of Spanish,
Interesting,
so
interesting new character. I would
yes,
say.
yes, very interesting new character. But before we start talking about all of the terrible things that could come of this, I want to put a positive spin on this.
Okay.
I have two words for you. Lucas listens. He remembered that little detail that the summer that she went to live with her Uncle Ernie was the summer that she met her fiance. He could have easily just let that go in one ear and out the
I
other.
When you are interested in someone and they actually tell you they have an ex-fiance, you pick up on those details. Those details are not easily forgotten.
Yes, but take it from someone who has five older brothers. It
Well,
happens.
yeah, no, there's that.
Lucas listens. So I'm going to pick the one positive thing out of this terribly awkward situation.
Uh,
And we know that Lucas is an amazing listener. We knew that already
we
because
did know that, but
of
yes, this
his
is
relationship with Elizabeth, but we are also finding it out because not only is he listening to current conversations, but he is recalling details and pulling them out of his hat, if you will,
yeah.
to bring them into current conversations. And it's just a crying shame because did you see how those two were getting along?
I know.
They
He could
were
really
like
use a
long
good
lost
friend.
brothers.
I know. It was so sweet.
Dang it all.
But it's also so weird because they do seem so different, and yet clearly they must be a little similar if she has a type.
Well, I mean, think about it. Fernando was a cowboy until a few years ago. Lucas was a professional gambler until a few years ago.
True.
And I mean, the man did say the four words that Lucas probably loved hearing: I live for poker. And they found an automobile race. I mean, come
Oh.
on. You know,
Yeah. I mean, I am really glad that they did it in a way so it's obvious to like they both know who the other one is now. Yeah, there was a few minutes where they became friendly that they didn't know, which has to happen for them to actually become friendly.
yeah.
But it isn't gonna be one of those dance around it situations where he doesn't know that's her ex-fiance and he doesn't know that this is the guy that's interested in his ex-fiance and like it's not gonna be one of those like beat around the bush, everybody's trying to cover something up kind of thing.
So, question: do you think, purely your opinion, do you think this is going to end badly or amicably? Do you think that Lucas and Fernando can still be friends?
I doubt they can still be as good of friends as they were going to be, but I don't think this will be a regular occurrence. They're not going to have like a big bromance going on.
Uh, too bad.
They'll probably have like get into it once and then they'll be okay. I mean, if Lucas can make up with Nathan,
He can make up with anybody.
really, I mean, even when he didn't get the girl, and he's gonna get this girl, so
And Fernando and Edie are not currently engaged. It's not as if Lucas stole her from him. Moving on.
moving on. We had to have some sort of a wrench in this new budding romance. But I think this will be a short-lived wrench.
Did you, before we leave this budding romance, did you notice the tiny little line? You could blink and miss it. And I did the first time, and I didn't miss it the second time. I have an affinity for you.
Yeah, that was pretty. Slide that in there. Yeah.
Slide that in there and say it so casually. And she didn't even bat an eye. She just smiled.
Yeah. No, their romance will move a little faster, I think, than many of the others on this show. I would think. They just both seem very forward.
At least somebody's will. All right. We've already brought up Henry, and
Yeah.
I feel like Christopher is the elephant in the room. And that elephant slammed through the door at a very opportune moment for Nathan. So I do have to say, I was relieved to find out that he did not set the fire.
Yeah.
He knew about it, and you probably saw the live that I did in the commercials. It's just business. I got a little excited about him saying that. How can you say it's just business? An entire
Because
forest just burnt down.
He already feels guilty. He's grasping at straws to try to make himself feel better about his decision. He's
Hmm.
trying to justify that this is just how things go.
And then he tries to put it back on his father when that didn't work.
Yeah.
When the business excuse didn't work, because a few years ago it probably would have with
Yeah.
Henry. And so
Right.
when that didn't work, then he tries to blame it all on Henry. And just like I said before, instead of getting defensive, Henry says, okay, yes, that's fair. But look where it got me. And you are so much younger than I was when I came to this realization. I had another brilliant thought. We got Scrooge and Marley. Say I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong.
Henry is Marley desperately trying to plead the case of humanity and choosing good over business and cruelty and inhumanity to Christopher Scrooge, who is at a crossroads.
Yeah. Mm.
And I couldn't get the scene out of Christmas Carol out of my head. I just went, oh my gosh, it's Scrooge and Marley.
Yeah.
But then, oh, I didn't get choked up when I saw the scene, but thinking about it, when they had that tiny little scene, and I'm so glad that they added it in, of Henry just sitting with Christopher, sharing a drink, not a single word was exchanged or even said. He just sat with him so he would know that he's not alone in it. And to think of what Henry was capable of a decade ago, and even less than that, and seeing what he's doing now for his son who's in trouble in the same vein, maybe not the same way, but the same vein that he was.
Well, and also just thinking about like Henry has wanted this so much to have his son in his life and to be, amazingly granted some of these things that he thought he had missed out on in life.
Yeah,
And he made this decision knowing that it was the right thing to do and that he could lose Christopher over it. And he still did that because he knew it was the right thing to do and that it was the best thing for Christopher in the long run, even if it meant he didn't want to be around him anymore.
it's true. It's true. He could have very easily lost Christopher if Christopher's conscience hadn't won out.
Yeah.
Because a few years ago, Christopher's conscience wouldn't have won out. And it did this time. And part of that reason was because he has a father who cares. It wasn't always that way. And now he's determined to make sure that his son knows that he does care.
Yeah.
And he's looking out for him because he does not want Christopher to go through the same things that he had to go through to learn a very important life lesson. Do you think Christopher's going to go to jail? We know that somebody tries to run him down.
I would bet that it's most likely that it will look like he's going to, and then they'll be able to pull some kind of con and get the big wigs at the electric company to somehow admit to what they did, and maybe he can turn state's evidence and testify against them for a deal.
I promised my son that I would mention this while we were recording. He thinks that it's Fernando who tries to run him down. He said, I saw a hat and longish hair. I said, we'll see. But that is one of the mini Hearties in the house. That's
Yeah.
his prediction that he's getting really good at doing predictions. First,
Right.
it was that McGinty set the fire, which everybody thought,
Yeah.
but he thought it, which was very forward thinking of him. And now he's 95% positive that it was Fernando who was trying to run Nathan and Christopher down.
Well, if that's the case, Lucas really won't be friends with him.
No.
I don't think the car races are gonna happen
If he's using the car for evil.
yeah. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Well, yeah. It should be interesting to see how this plays out, but I guess the other side to that coin is even if he lucks out on the legal end of things, do you think Rachel's family will still be quite as excited about a wedding?
I have thought about that. I have thought a lot about that. It would be in Nathan's character to keep his name out of it if he can. I don't know that he can,
But
but
the right thing to do would be for Christopher to tell Rachel about what has happened.
very true. But would Rachel share that with her parents?
Her parents happen to be Lee's sister.
I know, but
So would Lee not happen to tell his sister?
I don't
Gonna
think
know.
so.
He's gonna know.
I mean, Lee is pretty cool with the fact that Susanna is a little rigid. And
That's a
he
good
knows that.
Yeah.
And I am of the opinion that just like when Lucas first arrived in town, and once he let them, they all gathered around him.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if there is a way for Christopher to be kept out of this, then they will find a way to make it happen. And I can even see a scene in my head. Maybe I should write a fan fiction about it. I don't think I have time before we find out, but I can see a scene in my head of Christopher talking to Lee and saying, well, I guess that's it for me and your niece. And Lee going, what's it? Who has to know? And a smile creeping up onto Christopher's face, that kind of thing.
Again, as long as he tells Rachel.
Yes, he needs to tell Rachel because Rachel is going to be his wife. Yes, he needs to tell Rachel, but there are plenty of things that a mother-in-law don't need to know. Did I say that?
A little bit. little bit.
All right, to finish up, let's talk about another father and child relationship, both a literal one and an honorary one. Sarah gave me the word. Gwen. Gwen and Lee, Gwen and her father James. Okay, I'm going to say this first because it's the shallowest of my observations.
Okay.
I noticed a wonderful softening of Gwen happening.
Yeah.
Did you notice?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if we're talking about the same thing though.
Okay. Tell me what you're talking about.
I'm talking about the flowers on her blouse.
Ah!
So she's not wearing the pink frilly dresses, but with that jumper that she always wears, she's wearing a blouse with flowers embroidered across the top. So,
Okay.
to quote Family Matters, I'm wearing you down. I I don't know about you, but when I saw her panic so suddenly, I had no idea what was going on. Did you?
Well, I mean, I could tell she was having some sort of a panic attack, but
Well, yeah, but
yeah, I
did you
mean,
suspect something like that?
I was just thinking that she was afraid to see him hurt, but
Mm,
you know, a lot of kids don't like seeing that. But we also didn't know much about how she lost her mom at that point. So,
right.
getting more of the information, brought it all together.
Yeah. Back to Lee and his gentle fathering.
Mm,
Did you see the sign?
yes,
Help yourself. Best of luck, Henry.
totally something Henry would do.
Okay, and you have been guessing a lot of plot points.
Hmm.
I have been guessing a lot of lines.
Okay.
When they pulled the fish out of the pond, I said, "Woo, that's a beauty."
If you had guessed the new word, I would have been
Oh
floored.
no.
Or even if you had just said, that's a beauty, it'll be so delicious. That would have been close enough. I would have been like, whoa, I bow down.
I never considered that she would have trauma manifest itself like that. I remember, did you ever see, it was one of Reese Witherspoon's first movies. It was called A Far Off Place. It takes
Mm-mm.
place in Africa.
Mm-mm. I think I've heard of that one, but I didn't see it.
Oh, it's a beautiful story. It's not full of a lot of action. You know, you have to really be interested in the plot. But what happens is she is a young girl raised by American parents in Africa.
Okay.
Her father is trying to stop poachers
Mm.
from killing elephants. And her parents' friend, who is a widowed father, brings his son to come on vacation to Africa, which I think it's more of a learning experience than a vacation. But what ends up happening is the poachers attack the house, and all three parents are killed.
Mm.
And so these two teenagers, with the help of an African native who is a friend of the girls. They cross the Kalahari Desert,
Wow.
and it's really amazing. And one night they're talking, and he asks her, when you went back to the house, I mean, did you actually see them? And she says, yeah, I wish I hadn't seen them. And he tells this heart-wrenching story. It's a beautiful moment, especially for teenagers. And he says, when my mother died, my father wouldn't let me see her. He said it, oh goodness. He said it would be better, but it wasn't. I still look for her sometimes. And so I just thought that it was so interesting that instead of not being allowed to see her mother, which is the way it is usually, they don't want their child witnessing a parent dying. The trauma came from seeing her mother wasting away and being told that she was going to be just fine. And now being told that her dad is going to be just fine. It
Yeah,
has
I
to be a
mean,
lie.
yeah. I mean, and you do wonder, like, were they lying to for some reason, or were they grasping at hope, did they say that when there still was hope and she just, as a kid, didn't know the timeline of when things got bad?
Or did she just turn and and did she just take a turn for the worse in the
Yeah,
middle of the night?
unexpectedly, and like, yeah, you do have to wonder like how that all happened because I, it's so hard. I don't know. I don't really have a good, profound answer of what's the best because I think that a kid like that in that situation is going to be traumatized either way.
Losing a parent is no joke. I
And
mean,
you're always going to wish that it happened differently than it did.
always.
And if it had happened the other way, you probably would have wished for the other. Like
Exactly.
there's no happy way out of that situation.
No.
And so it just kind of comes down to working through those feelings now.
Yeah. But who better to work them through with? And even Leland Coulter got a little choked up because he's a big old softy.
Well, I mean, think about that too. Like he lost a brother at a young age, so he's very well equipped to handle this type of situation with a young child. He went through it as a young child.
He's also
Something.
lost both parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have this beautiful chain reaction that everyone's working together. Not everybody is aware that they're working together, but they're working together.
Yeah.
And there is so much healing happening, and so much room is being made for beautiful moments. And I can't wait for more of them.
Yeah. That's why we love this show.
Oh, is that what it is? One of many reasons.
Yes.
Well, I think that's as good a place as any.
Pretty good.
So, parties, once again, happy Valentine's Day. Know that you are loved. And even if you do not have a significant other, there are so many ways for you to be loved. So, on this Valentine's Day, on this Valentine's Day, we want all of you to remember all of the different ways that you are loved. Because if there's one thing that we have seen in Hope Valley, and if there's one lesson that we have learned, it's that love can come from so many different places and in so many different ways. But it all comes down to love. So remember, you are loved, you are valued, you are important. And we'll see you next time.
Bye,
Bye.
Hearties.